A great book is like a mighty old oak tree. It's got so much character and personality, you have to read it to really get to know it. That's just one of the reasons why Robert Kiyosaki's book, Rich Dad Poor Dad, is considered a staple for every finance-conscious person. This book is the New York Times bestseller that changed the way Americans think about money. The author, who has sold more than 32 million copies, explains how you can retire wealthy, and not only retire, but thrive while others continue to work at regular jobs. Key takeaways. In this book, Robert Kiyosaki challenged many popular financial notions in our society. One significant example was the idea that a well-paying job and good benefits were the paths to financial success. Instead, he encouraged his readers to consider their jobs as a means to an end through investing. Kiyosaki advised people to invest their earnings in assets that would generate passive income streams and the power of business education. While he believed in the traditional school setting, he preached the gospel of continuous self-improvement. The main reason people struggle financially is because they've spent years in school but learned nothing about money. Today, his philosophy is more commonly addressed as financial literacy, which is an understanding of how money works and how to use it to one's advantage and achieve financial independence. While not everyone is sold on investing over working hard at a job, we cannot deny the influence of the author's work. Many lessons can be picked from Rich Dad Poor Dad and adapt them to your daily life. And while we strongly advise that you read the book, here are some of the things that can help you on your financial journey. Be a jack of all trades. One of the first takeaways in Rich Dad Poor Dad is the distinction between a generalist and a specialist. Generalists are often the ones who succeed, so it makes sense when you think about it. A specialist is only as good as their particular expertise, which usually isn't much more than a title and a pay grade. But on the other hand, a generalist knows a bit of everything, which means they're helpful to everyone. All-rounders are always employable in any field or trade by staying flexible and keeping a broad knowledge base. For example, suppose you're used to working with WordPress and your company switches over to Joomla. You may end up being without a job. It would be far more beneficial to be familiar with the basic concepts of computer programming than using the specific software your company used earlier. The same goes for any job. If you don't keep up with the times, there's always someone younger, more intelligent, and more willing than you are who will be there, ready to take your place. Prioritize investing in assets before any other spending. The first thing Rich Dad Poor Dad teaches you is to avoid spending money on things that don't increase in value. If it's not an asset, don't spend your money on it. That's a pretty simple rule, but it's a potent one. It's easy to buy things that provide no return on investment and lose their value, like clothes, cars, and cell phones. But you have to resist the urge to buy those things, especially if you're trying to get out of debt. So if you really want to get rich, you need to start investing in assets. Be able to spot opportunities. If you want to be wealthy, you need to learn how to spot opportunities. But this is never as easy as it sounds. For example, in the book, Robert Kiyosaki says, "You are often too busy to see the opportunities right in front of you." He explains that we're so involved in our daily routines that we've stopped seeing the world through a beginner's eyes. The trick is to purposefully look for new ideas and opportunities. To become an opportunity spotter, Kiyosaki recommends developing your imagination over being an expert in your field. Being an expert is good, but they only recognize the industry's boundaries and limitations. So you need to be able to develop ideas outside the ordinary that addresses the problems at hand. Think outside the box and find new ways of doing things. Mind your own business. One of the most important things to set you up for financial success is to mind your own business. The writer emphasizes that no matter what else you do, you will never be financially successful if you don't understand how your own business works. This idea in this context means paying close attention to how much money is coming in and where it's going, and carefully choosing where to invest it. In fact, according to Kiyosaki, if you start thinking about your income as an investment, you can begin to see every penny as a potential profit maker. Always take action. One of the most critical lessons the author learns from his rich dad is that it's always better to take action than doing nothing. While this sounds like common sense, so many of us fall back in our comfort zones instead of doing something to improve our situations because we're afraid of failure or risk. Rich Dad Poor Dad explains why this is so dangerous for your financial future. Let's assume two people want to buy a house as an investment property, but neither can afford it. So instead of deciding not to do anything about it, one of them decides to talk to a real estate agent about how much money is required for a down payment and if he can set up a payment plan. Of course, this is taking action rather than surrendering when a situation doesn't seemingly work in your favor. Your mind is your best asset. The number one way to get rich is to work smarter and not harder. Many of us were brought up to believe that a good job is all we need, but it would be best if you had more than that to be financially secure. The first thing to understand is that your most valuable resource is your mind. Kiyosaki encourages readers first to use their minds to learn something new, and then they can create a plan on how to take action with what they've mastered. Entrepreneurship requires you to understand the process of making money. You can start with paper assets like real estate, then learn how to invest in them, buy them, and then make money using them wisely as passive income sources. The book shows us that your mindset also significantly impacts how successful you will become in life. If you believe that money is hard to come by, that's what will happen. But if you start thinking like a rich person, you'll find that it becomes much easier to get ahead in life. Changing your mentality isn't easy, but it is possible with enough practice and dedication. You don't need a fancy education or tons of money to succeed. You just have to believe in yourself and what you're passionate about, and don't hesitate to take risks. So, have you already read this book? Please let me know in the comment section below. If you learned something new today, please like and share this video with your friends. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you do not miss more videos of Millionaire Mind. We will see you in the next video. Take care.